What's going on, everybody? Core Conversations for Tuesday, Freestyle Tuesday, and we are going to talk community. Community. Lots going on in the community on so many different levels. So let's get this going. Interesting to see what direction this goes in. Mindful Mover, what's going on? Check us out. I'm just typing here in the chat. On YouTube. Link in bio. Helen Hayes. How are you? All right. Rod, what's going on, man? I do these IG lives every day. Check out the handle, and I'd love to have you on at some point to talk about all the stuff that you do, and reach out to you about my son as well, around some basketball stuff. So let's talk on a few different levels. If you want to join me in the chat, you can do so right now. Today is a freestyle, meaning that I do not have any guests, but I want to talk about a few things and profile you, what you do, your business, all those different things. If you have any online classes, workshops coming up. Nora, I'd love to have you on in a moment too and just talk about some things in our community. And then I'll circle back to a more hyper-local, some craziness that's been happening in my area. Sad to say there was a shooting and an officer died, some other people died, some crazy stuff that has really rocked Ward 9. And Hamilton and Milton, Halton and Toronto, all with one event. Lots going on, party people. Yes, Helen Hayes, you did your 21-day challenge. It's day 13 and it's going amazingly well, she says in the comment section. Let's start there. Helen, do you got a minute to join me on the chat? Let's talk about how your event is going and what you're learning from your people, all those things. We'll jump into that. I always love to hear what you guys have going on, what online programs and stuff. So Rod, for example, with your basketball, do you have any online trainings, any in-person things, any new focus programs for the month of September? That sort of thing is what's up. So, okay, Helen, if you want to join me, jump on. And Rod, if you want to jump on at some point, let me know too. We'll bring. Hello.
Hey.
There it is. Okay, I'm like audio. Nice.
I hope the connection, let me just undo my battery. I hope the connection is better than it was last time I was on. It was really bad. Let's see. I'm going to put you down so it doesn't wobble quite so much. So, how you doing?
Day 13. I'm doing well.
It is brilliant. And I sort of think there could be a whole new thing. I don't know if you remember exactly what. So it's 21 minutes. For 21 days. Okay, so I'm sort of thinking, okay, I could do a 15-minute for 15 days, 10 minutes for 10 days, you know, that, whatever. It could be really, you can do so much of this. So what I did, I made 3 different programs that audio, okay? I just,
yes, that's right.
Audio.
Yes.
So one that's completely different. I wanted it to be absolutely available to everybody. So Pilates isn't, especially if it's audio, you're not, you know, I'm sort of think, okay, I can't, you know, just if you're not seeing anything, you can't, you know, just say, well, do this and do this and do this. So I've done, other stuff like you have as well, other than Pilates. So I did one of the programs is called Inner Visions. So it's just meditation.
Okay.
And so it's guided meditation. So anybody, although it's really difficult, anybody can sit down,
and
right. Okay.
So regardless of their physical ability.
Even if you've got a broken leg and, you can do it.
Yes.
And so no excuses. And another one is called Pilatomique. So I start with a lot of shaking, which comes from Qigong to release the body, and then I go through, I took it bit by bit, just the absolute basic Pilates. Okay, Pilates.
Okay.
And the third one, I call it Shake and Joy. So it's just movement. It's like a wake up thing, the cat and cow, and now moving the joints, getting, the little bit of running, jumping on the spot. And it's 21 minutes of just basic movement. And so it's 3 different things, and they can do whichever one they want, however they feel. The thing is that they have to film themselves time lapse. So
yes.
Send it onto the WhatsApp group. And otherwise, if they miss a day, then I ask them to sort of, move that. I don't, throw them. They, just
pull, kick into the curb,
move out of the group.
Yeah.
And it is 3 people have dropped out since the beginning. One after 2 days, one after maybe 5, and the other on the 7th. She said, was having a really hard time. Kids, that everything. And she said, I just can't fit it, whatever. And I said, okay, I don't want it to be an extra stress. I want it to be like a little, my space. I don't want it to be, I've got to do this now.
Exactly. Then that's a whole, it defeats the purpose of having a emotional, physical release by creating stress for them.
That's right. I mean, 21 minutes in a day is nothing, but when everything is going really wild, it seems like, oh God, I got to get 20 minutes. It's I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So funny.
I thought, the 10 minute, 10 days. So people are, they're throwing their videos on, and the community is amazing. Some I know, and some I've never met. And the amount of support and love, really, that is going through this little WhatsApp group. And I'm not a massive fan of WhatsApp groups because there's too many, so, but, and I don't, but I'm in it. I'm keeping a little, let me show you with me. Yes. Look at.
He's got a bit of a leg there, Helen. There's it's a leg. So it's,
I keep it a little.
Can you guys? Is it delayed for you guys as well? Like.
Of the days, so you see this. It's I'm not very good in Excel, so everything is with me is done by hand, and like.
I wonder if it's my side. Sorry, Helen.
So it's sort of, okay, this is where everybody is today, and it is fabulous, and I'm enjoying it.
Guys, it's it's delayed. I'm not sure.
I sort of think as well. I could.
Sorry, Helen, can you hold on a second? It just seems like it's delayed.
I'm going to redo some of the audios.
Yeah, actually, you should come out. Yeah.
Sorry?
That's good. Yeah, step out and come
Has
back.
it dropped?
Yeah.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah. All right. Okay, we'll get her back in. Debbie Robbins, how are you? Yeah, like so tight from walking. Wow. Hi, Jane. Interesting. Okay. Um, let's bring on Nora. Let's talk a little bit about accessibility of the work. Actually, no, Alan's back. Let's see if this works. And then we'll bring on Nora after. Hmm. Joined? Oh, there you are. Okay. You've got some bit of a delay. And no volume. Okay. Okay, yeah, log out again and we'll try it another time. Definitely, I still need to get you on and want to hear more about your thing. So we'll do that. And bring on Nora. Thanks, Ellen.
Hi.
Hey, how
How
are you,
are
my friend?
you?
I'm good. You are just working your content. You got great stuff out there so far. How you doing?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. A little bit tired, like from
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
working the campaign trail a little bit. There's been a lot of stuff happening in our area, but it's been
Mm-hmm.
fun.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
took yesterday off and to do like a community event, and then so I missed yesterday. So I feel like this is like my Monday right now of conversation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you're safe, your family's safe, everything's okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
Fortunately, unfortunately for other families, but like we're okay.
But you're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this is thank you for having me on. This is kind of random, but um I just I don't know if you saw, but I had a couple of videos blow up on TikTok in the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm. No, I
And
didn't.
yeah, and TikTok is really the place to be right now. But
Okay.
I have had in the last 3 days 20 people book consultations with me for Pilates classes, which is great. I usually get maybe one consult a week. Now I have 20 in a week, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But somebody sent me a note in preparation for our meeting and said she struggled with her weight and didn't feel accepted and didn't feel welcome in Pilates classes. And so this is why the representation on the instructor side is so important. And
Mm-hmm.
this is why we need a representation of body types and LGBT, and we need representation from like every community on the instructor side of Pilates teaching.
Yes. The I love how Misty just used the blanket statements of others, and every person who's felt othered needs to be
Absolutely.
representing, in industry. And I like that kind of just a broad stroke because it's true. We have one paradigm, and if you don't fit that, then you don't feel welcomed, right? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
let's speak to that for a minute, and then let's speak to the other side of just having the skill set to be able to make people feel welcome. Because I can be representing one community, another community could come in. I still need to have that skill set to make them feel welcome, even though I'm not that group.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
let's speak to the representation side first.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you say to this lady?
I cried reading that comment.
Mm.
I've seen that comment before. I've had consultations with a couple of other people who said like there was a lady who told me she wanted to do Pilates, but she was scared because of her size that she'd be turned away. And
Yes.
I was lying in bed reading that comment and I was sobbing, because I realized if she feels that way, other people feel that way too.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I said, you know, we have to get more of the message of inclusivity out.
Yes.
We really, really do. Yeah.
Right.
And I
Last
think,
time, oh, sorry, please go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think it's difficult with the Instagram lives because I've noticed sometimes when I watch things back, just the way things can lag. Sometimes it sounds like I'm interrupting you, but I'm really trying not to interrupt you, and I'm trying to let you say what you're saying. But just because of the way Instagram lags, it sounds like I'm talking over you, and I feel so bad about that. Because you're so kind to hold space for everyone, to give everyone a platform to be able to talk and to share their stories. And you're doing amazing things, and you're such a nice guy. So I just feel bad because it sounds like I'm interrupting you, but I'm really trying not to.
And same. I honestly, that happens to me too. So I'm like, okay, wait, no, start, go. Like it happens all the time. So it's like, you know what? That's real. This is real time. That happens.
Mm-hmm.
Can you, no, actually, for those who just jumped in, you know, because this isn't like a scheduled live, can you just say who you are and what your business is, and then we'll
Yeah,
just keep
my
the conversation?
business is called Wellness by Nora. I'm Nora Myers. I teach Pilates for people with disabilities, and I recently had a little bit of accidental TikTok success for videos that had nothing to do with being a Pilates teacher, but I actually have had 20 people in the last 2 or 3 days schedule consultations with me to try some Pilates with me. So this is really exciting. It just came from videos that had nothing to do with Pilates.
Actually, Nora, can I ask you a question? Just like a technical
Yes,
question.
yes.
So for those of us who are out here, we're like, nah, I should get on TikTok, but I don't want to learn another language. I just figured this Instagram thing out.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do it? Walk us through it. Just give us the Coles Notes version in
Okay.
case someone wants to actually write some stuff down.
People have asked me that, but I honestly have no clue.
Okay.
I have no idea how this happened. I have no idea how this happened. It was a complete, I wouldn't say fluke, but none of it was by design. It was not intentional. So what happened is somebody posted a video that said, what surprised you about working in the corporate world? And I made a video saying that it surprised me how disposable people can be, because there was one job where I was replaced within hours of deciding to leave the job. And that video ended up getting 4 million views.
What?
Yeah. And then somebody left a comment on the video making a mean comment about my appearance. And then I made a response video to that comment, and right now it's almost at 8 million views.
What?
Yeah, but I didn't plan any of this, and I don't know how that happened. And
Right.
I don't even know what constitutes viral anymore. Is it 10 million views? Is it 15 million views? I don't know whether that means that something went viral. It's absolutely mind-blowing. But
Yes.
I mean, I did have to deal with a lot of mean comments and a lot of ignorant comments, but
Yes.
a lot of people have been really nice. And I mean, it did lead to 20 appointments scheduled this week for Pilates consultations. And a lot of people said that they'd always wanted to try, but they'd been too intimidated. But now seeing that I can do it, they believe at least that they would like to try. So that's great.
I like that you said ignorant comments too, right? Like, I mean, a lot of times we get caught up in how the meanness of it, and sometimes people are just plain ignorant, like just they don't know.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a difference between people just trying to be mean and people who are ignorant. So, but like I don't even say I went viral or anything like that, because I don't even know what constitutes viral anymore, or what viral actually means, you know? Because you can go viral for a couple of hours, you can go viral for a day. I mean, there's a saying in the music industry, here today, gone later today. So this could fall out of fashion just as fast.
Wow, I didn't know that saying, but that's funny.
It's true, though.
Yeah, yeah, that's tough. So okay, so even though you can't give us a formula to get to 20 million views,
Oh,
what
no, I
what
can't
what
give
made you
anybody a formula for anything.
so what made you decide to jump onto TikTok, and what kind of content do you have on there normally?
It's completely different from what I do on other social. I was in social media management for a decade before I decided to become a Pilates teacher. We talked about this in previous interviews, and I still do some social media consulting. But TikTok is the one space where I just wanted to keep something fun and informal. I put so much pressure on myself for so many years to get on Instagram with my hair done, my makeup done, professional photos,
Right.
professional videography. I spent so much money, so much effort, so much time on that. And it's like work. It doesn't feel fun anymore. It's just work. It's
Yes.
drudgery. It's part of working. So I decided I'm gonna try to go to the other end of things with TikTok. I'm gonna hop on with no makeup, with messy hair, and I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna make this space for myself where I don't have to be a certain way or look a certain way to be acceptable in this space. And I don't consider it like business. I mean, I share some stuff about Pilates, but I also just talk about regular things.
Yep.
And I started TikTok doing trends and stuff because they were funny, but I just want to keep it more of a space for something that's fun instead of something that feels like work. But there's honestly no formula, because I literally recorded those videos on my phone with no makeup and with messy hair in less than a minute, and then they both went nuts.
Yeah.
But there was no. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
There's a Lady Gaga song called "Rain on Me," and there was a clip of that song that became a sound that just said, "Let's stay playful together," and it was popular like 2 summers ago, I think. And then a little while ago, I was demonstrating a Pilates exercise on a live stream class, and my boob fell out of my jumpsuit.
Ouch.
Yeah. And so I made a video about that with the "Let's Stay Playful Together" sound.
Yes.
And that got a lot of attention. That was really funny. And I made it private, but then I was like, okay, I'm going to put it up again because I think people are just going to find this funny. And they did. And that was literally the only intention behind it was, okay, this is an embarrassing moment that happened to me, and maybe somebody's going to find this funny. And they did find it funny.
So I love how you said earlier, like you made a space for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that is such a powerful statement, because we feel like we always have to make that space for other people, or we have to adorn ourselves to be in that space, all those different things, right? So we become so entrapped in trying to please other with that space, where you're just you've taken yourself into a new medium and create that space for yourself. And it's funny. It's almost like when my daughter is gone to university, and we were talking before she went to Dalhousie, Nova Scotia, saying like, you have this great opportunity to write a new script for yourself.
Absolutely.
And any one of you who are watching this, you can go onto TikTok or Snapchat or wherever you want to go, and you can change your story. You can create a different space for yourself and do something different, and that's fun. You're great, and you can dictate how those situations are going to be handled. Make it light, make it funny, laugh at ourselves, laugh at one another, identify with those moments. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Monica Lewinsky talked a lot about that when she decided to return to public attention, talking about taking back her narrative, rewriting her story,
Yes.
insisting on a different ending to her story,
Right.
being known for something other than her past,
Right.
taking back her narrative, claiming her space, rewriting her story.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love hearing those stories. I mean, I'm an athlete. I'm the sports guy. So like you like, and I think C's for Greatness is still in here too. We're football guys. You like the underdog story. You like the small guy who makes the big play story. You like the comeback story. So
Absolutely.
you, even in real life, I find myself rooting for those people who can rewrite their script and
Mm-hmm.
know that even at their worst moment, that isn't how the story's going to end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's powerful. That's good. There's a
Definitely.
comment here from Jane Chambers. It says, I'm always posting photos, not always with no, sorry, with no, with messy hair, makeup, and who cares what people think."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I put huge pressure on myself with Instagram to have a certain aesthetic, to have a certain look to the feed, to have, straight hair and makeup, to the point that somebody on Facebook said to me, "Wait, you have naturally curly hair?" When I posted about how I posted something on TikTok with no makeup and my natural hair. And I was like, yeah, she didn't even know that my straight hair wasn't my natural hair. So,
Interesting.
so I really worked really hard to have a certain
To
aesthetic
craft your
with
image.
Instagram, and now I'm kind of trying to undo that need to present myself in a certain way.
Good for you. I'm sure everyone's kind of to some degree on that path, right? Like, and just like trying to free yourselves. I think that's why in some of my posts I invite people to comment, or invite
Mm-hmm.
people to just share their opinion on an exercise, or invite them to give a cue on something I'm doing, to take the power away from the critical. Oh no, they're gonna say that my pinky finger's in the wrong spot. Well, if I invite you to give that information first, then it's the doors open for others to have conversation around
Mm-hmm.
it, and then it's not as like it doesn't have the same sting of someone says it's wrong, and then they
Mm-hmm.
feel like they can say it in a way that's not condescending, if
Yeah.
for lack of it. So
And you can, if you ask for feedback, you can take what serves you and disregard the rest. And some people are going to make valid points,
yep.
and you can say, "Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for catching that. Thank you for
Yes.
noticing. I'll fix that," etc., etc. It, I don't like the idea of necessarily doing something wrong. I mean,
Yep.
I think you make a correction if somebody's at risk of hurting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more the correction for the safety and the correction for making sure that the person is well and is not going to hurt themselves.
Yes, exactly.
But
So yeah,
yeah,
or
but
the layer would be like, how do you make something better? Perhaps not
mm-hmm,
necessarily because it's wrong, but yeah. Sorry, go
mm-hmm.
ahead.
And the notes that people give you, you can take what serves you and disregard the rest.
Absolutely. Med9 Spirit has, I have bad posture. How can I fix it? I would say message Nora or myself afterwards and let's discuss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
let's unpack that a little bit more for you there, for sure. The so yeah, I love that. So we talked about the one part of it, the representation in terms of them being able to see us, but let's speak to the cues, the words, the inviting messages, the body language, the posture that makes someone feel welcomed, even if they can't see themselves in us, because that's going to happen inevitably, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it, well, I can't obviously speak for everyone. I can't speak for everyone's experience. And people have different preferences. Some people like a tough instructor. Some people like a calm instructor. Some people like somebody who nitpicks a lot. Some people like somebody who is a little
Just let
bit
you
more
move.
hands-off and encourages
Yes.
independence. It really comes down to personal preference. But I think being calm and being patient are really important, because especially if the client comes in, they're in a rush, they're having a bad day, they have a lot going on. They just want to shut out the noise, do something for themselves, kind of be calm and patient and relaxed. So you want to be that grounding and anchoring force for good in someone's day, and you want to be calm to just help them to relax and relax their nervous system. I have a client who is overly perfectionistic, and she's really hard on herself with everything. Every time she can't get something or I have to repeat something, she gets really angry at herself. But perfectionism can make things worse, because when you're tense and when you're hard on yourself and when you're angry and when you get frustrated, you can't just relax and flow through the process, because everything just kind of shuts down and then you don't get anything out of it. So I always say, you know, focus on the breath, count the reps if you need to, and really just, and leave it at the studio. It's done for the day. You're done your class.
Yes.
All you can do is figure out, what do I do better next time? But it's really about just trying to be calm and not beating up on yourself.
Relax and flow through it, like you said. And the word image I have, Nora, have you tried playing golf before?
No.
Okay, so I think that you should take a golf lesson. I think it will inform your Pilates.
Okay.
Because I've taken some golf lessons because I used to train a lot of golfers, like for strength and conditioning. So I'm not a good golfer by any means, but I understand the principle that if I'm tense, the ball's not going to go very far. There's a conversation you have in your body where you coil and recoil, which sets you up for a swing. So if I can relax into a proper swing, the ball goes further than if I'm tense and trying to muscle it through. And that's like what you're just saying. There's a sense of relax and flow through it that we need walking into it. So that's great.
That's exactly like if you are walking on ice. Your natural tendency is to brace yourself and toughen yourself up and prepare yourself to fall. But what actually helps is if you just relax as much as you can, and then your reflexes are going to kick in if you slip. And I found with the Pilates and with the strengthening my glutes and strengthening my abs and improving my reflexes and my reaction time, I had much more success navigating snow and ice when I just tried to relax as much as possible and not tighten up and tense up and brace myself going, I'm going to fall, 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 I'm going to fall. But when I just kind of try to stay as relaxed as possible, then that was better for my body than expecting that I was going to just keel over.
Right. Mr. Phils is in the house. Tio Black Tio, how are you, sir? No, it's great. Nora, last time you were on, you were talking about some new classes or programs that you were just starting. Did you just move last time we chatted?
I moved about 6 months after we first. I moved. I think we spoke in like August or November 2020. I moved on Christmas Day 2021, and then I spoke to you in June of this year. I have some new classes right now, but with the influx of everything that happened on TikTok, I'm developing more online programming right now, and I'm live streaming classes on TikTok at the moment. Actually, that is one piece of information I can share with you with TikTok. I'm not going to take credit for this. I believe her name is Kokomoko. That's who I got this from. She said, right now, the TikTok creators who are going to be at the top of their game in the next year, like if you want to be ahead of the curve now, live stream your day just doing normal things. So live stream your day on TikTok, cleaning the studio, planning classes, organizing props, whatever, doing normal things. Like that's what people are tuning into right now. The objective of TikTok is not to compete with things like Facebook or Instagram. They're trying to compete with streaming services like Netflix, where you binge one episode after another, after another,
Yes.
after another. So they want to keep you on TikTok the way you binge Netflix. So if you can keep people on your live stream, then that's the objective. So
Yes.
I mean, obviously you're not going to stream a class without somebody's permission, but stream things like cleaning the studio, organizing, planning classes, like that kind of
Sure.
stuff.
Yeah. There you go, TikTok whisperer. People, we got
Yeah, but that's from Coco Moco. That's not from me. But that's why I hopped on live yesterday, and that's why I was on live the day before. I just taught 2 quick, series of exercises, and then there were like 200 people on the live, so I just stayed on and just kind of chatted with everybody the way that we're chatting right now. And I answered lots of questions and just stayed on and talked with lots of people, and it was just really nice, all the support, all the nice comments. It was really nice to just chat with everybody.
It's crazy when you get that kind of groundswell organically, right?
It's unbelievable, considering all the time and all the effort and all the money I put into Instagram.
Right.
And how this happened organically through TikTok. Although I found it's way easier to grow on TikTok than it is on Instagram.
Yeah, interesting. Anyone else, just a show of hands, those in the chat, anyone else on TikTok and what their thoughts have been on that, just out of curiosity. It's interesting, Nora, because I mean, a lot of people, once the world kind of opened it up, they went right back into their live, in real life stuff, right? Because people were waiting for that. Some people kind of kept it a hybrid, and some people kept diving deeper on the social media, recognizing how it fit them. So everyone's at different places now, whereas everyone was kind of more boxed in before. So it's fascinating to see how it's opening up for some people.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely did plan studio classes, and that's something I'm working on too. But I really want to, for lack of better words, capitalize on this moment as much as I can.
Absolutely.
And gonna start offering more online classes, more online stuff, because this interest I've had is the most interest I've had since I had a newspaper article written about me in February of this year. So I want to make the most of it while I can. And I think people are looking for online classes and studio classes. And actually, I have to pop off in a minute because I just have a consultation coming up soon. But I had a consultation yesterday with somebody who used to do Pilates but has since moved, and there are no Pilates studios in her area. So the online stuff is really good for people who don't have local access to Pilates classes.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. And that's something I hadn't even considered, that a city might not even have a Pilates studio.
Right. Yeah. Very cool. Nice. I'm gonna make it. Yeah. Now I have one more thing to do. Look into TikTok and decide if I'm gonna jump on
definitely. And I know a couple of people you can follow who are good people to follow.
Cool. Yeah. Put them in the chat afterwards. I'll mention it.
I will definitely.
Cool. Thanks, Nora.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Thanks for having me. I'll speak to you soon. Okay.
Yes.
Bye.
Yes. Man. Carrie, how are you? And Mr. Phils. I'd love to have both of you guys on if you're free. Because of Monday, I wasn't even able to jump back in and just do like a follow-up conversation for Rob. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I have another cool guest tomorrow too. Very fun. Yeah. Let's do this. I don't know, Carrie, you're good to go? I just invited you, but let's see. Just say no. And Martin Fellows too. If you guys are good to go, I'll bring you in. Cool. Hey, Sonia. Let's try this again.
Oh, I'm facing the wrong way. Geez, how long have doing this for? Here we are.
Rookie mess.
Welcome to my life.
Yes. I think
Hi, Martin. Hi,
man, long
Personal
time.
Victory crew,
We see. I think Carrie
or
is
Conversations
in
crew.
too. And I see Sonia just joined us as well. Okay, Carrie's unable to join.
This
Yes,
is going to be a quick
sir.
one for me, Martin, because I have 3 screens going on at the same time here, and I just got a client email. It just doesn't stop. This is a rare day that I can actually be at home. I think that next week it will truly be hybrid, where I'll be 50% working from home,
Okay.
like every day except the weekend. Weekends have become sacred now.
Yes, like violently guard the
Anybody
weekends.
asks me to do anything on the weekend, the shotgun comes out.
Crazy. So
Yes.
lots of stuff happening at U of T?
Oh, yes. So I guess just to fill everybody in, so U of T has gone back to pretty much a open program. It's not a full program yet. At least at Hart House, we're not there yet. Frankly, because we're so short-staffed.
Yeah.
Right. So if there are any U of T students who see this later on, come to Hart House and apply for a job, because we have a few openings. And in the instructor pool, in all disciplines, not only just actually on the Pilates side, we're not bad, but
Really?
on all other disciplines, we can really do with taking up some more. Cycle fit instructors, just good generalists who can do anything from high-low to body conditioning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those people are required, but it's been big. The other thing too is that now I'm back in my program supervisor position.
Okay.
Again. Yeah, that was a big change in August. That's why I totally disappeared.
It just dropped
Because
off.
because basically had a short time to get everything ready for opening in September.
Yeah.
And we're already week in. Our registered fitness program comes in. We'll be offering reformer classes for the first time at Hart House too.
Very cool.
So 5 at a time.
Yeah.
And we're piloting it. We'll see how it goes. We may have to expand the program already, because it's filling up. And it's a good price, because again, my belief has always been barrier free. Yeah. So, and as much as people pay a lot to go to university, that oftentimes that's their life savings, particularly people of color, Black people. Again, they're saving a lot of money. They're working pretty hard. They don't really have much left to really engage in courses like that. And this is what we're all about, that we really want to try to
make it barrier free.
Yeah, or reduce the barrier as much as possible. You can hear my emails going off already.
Yeah.
Again, but yes.
No, I appreciate you only have like a few minutes. I didn't want to. It was just good to like see your face, man, because I know it's like.
Well, I'm still alive.
Yes.
Still alive, man. But yes, it's really all-encompassing work because I also decided when they offered me that all the clients that I've built up over the last year in particular, I'm not going to abandon them, and they all want programming from me.
Yes.
Right? So all of my online classes are still going strong. Yes. I incorporated a monthly pay one for as many classes as you want to take in a month system at the beginning of June.
Okay.
And that's garnered a lot of support, and a lot of people signed in on that, and they want their classes. They're just they ain't giving up. So so there you go. But it's nice to be busy. I mean, considering that we went through 2 years of kind of languishing, all of that, but still very, very cautious. Certain situations, I have my mask on. I'm not. And certainly for any of you who know Toronto, I mean, on the subway, it's bolted to my face, that mask. Yeah. So, what can you do?
Yep.
But that's my story. I see Sonia was there. Hi, Sonia, too. I haven't spoken to Sonia in forever, and she's been doing a lot of amazing work in terms of highlighting things again. and bring it in the forefront, because I think, you know, like me, I'm multitasking and I don't necessarily have that attention
Yes.
necessarily, but then she brings something up. Oh, this is interesting. I better have a look at it and see what,
Yes.
see the issue and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the state of well, first of all, my team at Heart House, the team that I belong to, is pretty diverse now.
Yeah.
That's another big change that happened over the summer. Huge increase in diversity now, so that when we go around the team meeting today, like, we actually form the majority, not the minority.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's for the fitness program team. So I think that that's brilliant. But yeah, you know, bringing those things to the fore, they're still happening. I can't really speak to, and I don't know, you've been busy too, you know, speak to the state of fitness for you know, BIPOC and
Yeah.
the like in the city. I can't really speak to it right now because I've just been so taken up by everything that I'm doing.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you know, at the very least, trying in that environment, trying to be as egalitarian and open as possible.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you missed the first half of what Nora was saying there. When Nora speaks to people with disabilities and Pilates and that sort of thing, right? So for her, she's getting a good lens on that as people are reaching out to her and wanting classes and saying, well, I wasn't welcome because of my size or because of this or because of that, right? So
Well,
she's, yeah,
we purchased over the summer 2 accessible reformers from Merrithew,
okay,
right? So they're very easy to get onto. They're not down on the floor,
yes,
right? But they're actually quite high up. So we have 2 of them, and they're the bigger size, the V2 Max. So they're quite big. They're almost an inch and a half wider, and they're an inch or so longer as well too.
yes,
And everybody's just loving using those as well, to, you know, in addition to the reformers that we have already. So
yeah, nice,
accessibility, that's a big one. It's a
absolutely,
big one, and I laugh because it's ironic how terribly big it is, and just in an older building like Hart House, where accessibility is a problem, where to place program, making sure that it's accessible,
yes.
you know, and we still have some issues with that because not all of the accessibility gearage is in place yet. So
Yes, and it's tough to retrofit like a 150-year-old building too, right?
yes. Well, 100. Let's not give it too much. It's only 100 years, but they weren't thinking about this in 1918, right? 1919. Of course
No,
not.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, true.
So there you go.
Craziness.
And you've been good?
Yeah, man, the
I
learning
see your
curve
LinkedIn all the
is,
time.
yeah, working at, yeah, another post
And
today. I just posted one today because of that shooting spree that happened yesterday, right? So lots of craziness happening in Mississauga.
yeah,
Um, so that's yeah,
that was just
lots.
so wild. I've just never. Well, you know, it's happening more in Canada. We had that in Nova Scotia the same way
Yeah.
at the start of the pandemic, and then this, like, I get over so many areas,
Hmm.
you know, around the GTA, and one person, that was just horrific,
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
horrific. You know, you don't know, but you just
And
have to
yeah,
keep on doing
and with the police, he was shot and killed, so we don't even know
what his
what the motive
motivations were.
was. Exactly. So, yeah, I'll fill everyone in when you jump off because I know your time is precious, but it's we were just it's we'll just see what happens, right? Because I mean, it's all these different police forces and the community is asking questions, and in the middle of a campaign, people asking like, "What are you gonna do?" Right? So I'm trying to speak to those issues, and I have to be completely transparent. A lot of what we talked about in the Pilates space
Hmm.
translates to what we're seeing happen in the community, just in general, and what are the strategies of connecting, building community, listening, all those different things.
Well, that's because we are the community.
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't it not be reflected? Of course, we are the community. So
Yes. Yeah.
good on you for bringing that forward, and you know, a lot of success. The heavy period now is just going to start as
Yeah.
we get in, you know, halfway through September and into October. So good luck. Say hello to Misty. I miss her
Yes. Yes.
when she's
Will
on
do.
with you tomorrow. Are you guys having your?
Yes. Yeah, so we have, I'm gonna make sure I confirm my guests before I say who they are.
Hmm.
So I will announce them and then they're like, just kidding, I can't make it. So I'm gonna confirm that, and yeah, we have a guest tomorrow and it should be good. Should be fun.
All right. Well, say hello to Misty for me. Look forward to chatting
Will
with her
do. All right,
sometime
man.
soon.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right. You guys
All
have a
right,
good
sounds good.
day. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
There you go. Can you guys still see me there? Give me a thumbs up if I'm okay, even as Mr. Phil's side is spooling. Redefina Pilates, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. All right. So yes, so as I was just alluding to a minute ago, in Mississauga, specifically in my area, in the Ward 9 Meadowville area, we had a sad event yesterday, a shooting where a gentleman went into one building, Tim Hortons, shot shot a few people, killed a police officer, took off, went to Milton, shot some more people there, killed a second person, continued up to Hamilton, and was apprehended and was shot by the police. The shooting spree throughout Mississauga, Milton, Hamilton area just rocked the community yesterday. The Toronto community, because it was a Toronto police officer who was in town for a joint training session with Peel Police. And it's tragic, right? So now, what do we do with that? How do we support people? How do we support, loved ones lost, the community? I'm thinking of like the people who worked in that Tim Hortons, the owner of the Tim Hortons, who is like apparently a real community-minded individual, not just like flying in, but actually he's really plugged into the community as well. All these people have this image in their head. People have lost loved ones, lots of stuff going on. And as Mr. Phil's, Martin and I were just talking a moment ago, we talk about inclusive, accessible, welcoming, warm, open spaces, safe spaces, all these things in our Pilates space. And all that stuff really does have to translate to the outside world, our communities, our neighborhoods. So that's kind of the way that I'm looking at it. How do we embrace these situations? What do we do with these situations? I made a post this morning. One of the tips was very, very practical to our space, but two of the topics that I want to talk about, I made real quick posts and just wrote them out. One of them was love everyone. And the reason why I put the words love everyone is because it's not like warm, fuzzy, like I don't care, take advantage of me, love everyone, but do things out of respect for people, treat people with respect, those who work, the Tim Hortons staff, the people who are just doing stuff, like give them some dignity. Your people, your friends, those who've crossed you, people who have stung you in the past, do you live in a place of being ready to forgive them? Like, I mean, do you walk around carrying this stuff and then something like that happens in society? And then all of a sudden you get hit with this like, oh, that could have been me. Oh, imagine, let me call this person, tell them that I love them because that could have been them yesterday. It bothers me when people have this sudden awakening to the fact that they need to be better people when something happens to somebody else. Live there. Why don't you live in a place of generosity and hope and joy and peace and all that stuff, all that warm, fuzzy stuff. Do it in your way, but don't leverage someone else's loss to recognize that you need to step up your game. Just live there. Just live there. And the second piece, sounds a lot more raw than when I did in my post. Well, the second one was take care of yourself. The plain analogy, put your oxygen mask on first. There's a sense that, there's a saying that, the plane's going down, what they do is they tell you, put your oxygen mask on, then take care of the person next to you. And in these times, it reminds me that we need to be taking care of ourselves, because when those situations happen and you read about a tragedy where some guy flies off the handle and shoots people and does all those things, you think, oh no, what about the family that lost the person? Oh no, what about the witness? that saw that. No one ever says, oh no, what if that was me as the shooter? Could I fly off the handle that much in a moment of disconnection with everything that's going on in my world, that I could be the one who is the suspect, not the victim? Has that ever crossed your mind? Take care of yourself. Find yourself in a place where you can unapologetically take that time. Like Mr. Phil said a minute ago, your weekends, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to spend time by myself. Don't be a hero. If you are in a place where you're just feeling that unstable, reach out for help. Share it with a person that you trust. Reach out for professional help. Take advantage of any help programs that your workplace may have. All of those things tie into it. Men, you don't have to be a hero. Be transparent, be real, do your thing, let people know. Women, even in our area, there was a situation where a woman tried to drive her car into a pond to drown herself, and she was unsuccessful. They saved her, everything's good, but she was, I don't know what the situation was at home. Maybe she was trying to get away from a spouse. Maybe she was just overwhelmed. Maybe she was having a mental health episode. Don't be a martyr. Don't feel like you need to absorb all these things and figure it out on your own. Take care of yourself. Those are the things that I dropped this morning as I reflect on this, because the reality is that every time these things happen, we get in this place of thinking, oh, why don't you just live there? Take reminders like this to say, okay, how do I take care of myself today? How do I let people know that I appreciate them today? And live in that place. So there you go. There's your public service announcement. I've just been thinking about that because, naturally it's like, well, what do I do with this? What do you do with that? It wasn't, what can we do with that? We just had to sit in this place of just sending our condolences, thinking about loved ones, and then just being in the community, supporting the community in any way we can. So there you have it. The Super Kate says, yes, take care of yourself. All right, party people, we are out for today. I'll send you a post with our guests for tomorrow. I'm really excited about them. Misty Lynn Cawthon will be our co-host. And that is it. I'll pause for a second just because I know that sometimes there's a bit of a delay. Comments are coming through. All right. Thank you, everybody.